Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 13th of December. So let's take a look at these markets. Firstly, let's just look as usual at the risk events occurring today. Well, there's very little really. GDP data is already out for the UK. It came out zero point 0.1 below expectation. We've got at some point new loans in China, but okay, we got the only significant number in terms of the normal markets here. It's just scroll down here. So okay, we've seen quite a lot of data out there. Let's just see if there's not much in the way of speakers. There's a couple of speakers there at 11 o'clock. The rest is pretty low-key data, so not masses of data there. So let's look at the technicals. Technical wise, what we're seeing here at the moment, well, the euro yesterday was trying its best to do something, get back to the upside there, and it finally failed in the afternoon. Quite a choppy old day. US inflation, I think, was still quite on the higher side. Let's just go back on that and look at yesterday's data there. US inflation, yeah, it came out higher than expected there again. There wasn't too much in the way of surprises elsewhere. Inflation, interest rates even in Eurozone was cut by 0.25 as expected, and the Swiss National Bank, they did a bit of a shocker and cut by 0.5%. It's not like them to surprise the markets, eh? I said that with tongue in cheek. Anyway, so what's the shape here then? Currently on the euro, we're lower highs, lower lows. It says it's continuing this path to the downside. It hadn't finished yesterday. It's quite ugly bit of price action there. At one stage there, at 2 o'clock, sort of bouncing back. 3 o'clock going down, back and 4, and so on. But the overall trend is holding on to the downside there. Okay, in terms of trying to get a trade at the moment, I'd prefer it just sort of came back to the daily pivot and did something into that and rolled, but it's not set for me as it is at the moment. The pound dollar, that's the euro dollar. It's not the pound dollar. Come on, switch. There we go. Okay, so last couple of days, I mean, yesterday we've seen, I say last couple of days, we're still in today, aren't we? But yesterday really saw it flake, break down here. We've seen it holding up extremely well there, and then the pound just gave way yesterday, and it's followed through this morning so far. So there's all that lovely consolidation, that consolidation, all sitting around there for the first part of the week, and then yesterday there in the afternoon really did take a big breakdown. And today, well, there's no trades setting up on it at the moment for me. It's I mean, there's a chance it will run down to its S2, but it's a case of there isn't a setup there for me to get into the trade. Technically, it looks weak. Okay, the dollar yen that continues crawling back to the upside here. So very, very slowly, lots of consolidation sitting there through yesterday, and well, it's just poked its head back above that 200, and then failing again. So not really that convincing, this overall move. Higher lows, higher highs still all the way through it, so it's more at the moment more on the sort of bullish side of things. Australian dollar, saw big moves in this, which looked like it had some opportunity yesterday. Still running to the downside. This did do the reversal I was looking for there in the morning. Came out on the 10 o'clock bar there, started breaking down. Still hasn't got down towards its S1, but it's moved a decent distance so far. From here, again, I would look at it if it runs back into its daily pivot. It might be an opportunity on the downside there. It does look pretty soft. at the moment, but it's really in an open move at this stage. US dollar CAD, well, we just continue breaking to the upside here, not really doing too much. Higher lows coming through here. It's so not doing too much. It looks a lot better on the hourlies here, but it took a long time before it really started doing too much. Yesterday morning it was barely moving, just consolidating, and we got the shove out there, and finally broke those highs again. So it tested them a few times before it eventually broke, but quite an ugly market. New Zealand dollar so close to the Australian dollar here, still selling off solidly. You're just seeing a stronger US dollar coming through here. There's nothing, unfortunately. I mean, again, if it was to come back towards its daily pivot there and react off that, might be something. It is close to its previous lows here. Yep, it could roll over again and just continue through the S1 and S2. There's a possibility as it runs through this morning, but in its current state, it's a bit like yesterday. It took a while to come through there eventually. I mean, 10 o'clock it put its head through, but it was quite a way before it put its it broke through the 50 and the 34, and then it took its time. So very slow yesterday. US dollar Swissy. So the Swissy lost some ground. It had done so early in the morning with the data that came out. I say early in the morning, early-ish, when we saw the news and the suggestion. So there's not much else to be done here, and hence why the bigger cut in interest rates. Anyway, there's the US dollar Swissy, nothing involved there. In fact, a lot of these other markets like the Euro Yen, just see it from the hourly, it's got particularly choppy there. It's well out of shape. There is the pennant sort of pattern that's sort of sitting there. It's the pennant that's unreliable. I keep calling some of these triangles. This isn't a triangle. Triangle's different way. Could argue it is, but a type of triangle. Elsewhere, what was I looking at yesterday? I was short on the pound New Zealand. No, it wasn't the pound New Zealand. It was the euro pound yesterday. Beg your pardon. That got stopped in the end. Trailing stopped. Fortunately, it did it during the slower part of this period, this movement, but off it went. You always question yourself. Well, did I just get nipped out on this this bar here? Eventually, it was the bar that took me out. Did I just get nicked out for that? But it was actually the next bar that then flew through. Anything, if I'd left the stops, even at the entrance, it would have been taken out here. So it has done a complete swinger for now. Okay, it's not a great deal else I'm seeing at the moment. I will be just running through these markets, continue to push through. Did I spot something? Pound New Zealand, yeah. It was early in the week. No, it's all right. There was stuff early in the week. This just carried on. I had it highlighted here, but it never pushed and broke to the upside. Right, I shall leave the majors there. Let's just have a quick look at gold. So gold yesterday, when I was looking in the morning, looked quite positive, but took a turn during the later part of the day there. And properly rolled back. Quite an ugly movement there. It's put a lower high, and it does look really quite soft from where it's sitting at the moment. Come fractionally short of the daily pivot, but you could be drawing and looking at this, and it's very simple. In very simple terms, look at a further breakdown here. Gold, oil was up slightly this morning, up 0.4%. So, what a ride yesterday on oil. Look, it sort of broke away. I haven't been trading this over. Again, it's just got, for me, it's just not timing very well. Okay, we're looking at hourly charts here, and it's sort of, wait, there's a nice breakout there on Wednesday, but just looking at it, ideally want to be trading in longs. Now this could be setting up for something as it's sitting here. It's consolidated a little bit, and looking like it could have further upside to its R1 and beyond. Certainly looking that way. I wouldn't have been looking at the short side the way it was running yesterday. It's been pushing up there reasonably strong. Started doing a move again. Perhaps I'll be back into this very soon, but it's just last few weeks it's got very choppy. I tend to move away when it gets in chop zones like this. It's time to lose your money. The S&Ps, quick look there. Yesterday they were looking reasonably positive yesterday, and then took a roll. At one stage looking like they had chance. So it's just again consolidation zone here. This pennant sort of pattern that's in there, just so unreliable anyway. Horrible choppy afternoon there. Picking up again, maybe if it gets above its R1 it will look more bullish again, but from where it is at the moment it's put ugly lower highs. Other markets, the FTSE remains really quite ugly and choppy. Doesn't look quite as bad on the foot when you bring it down to the 4 hourly and the hourlies. There are little times, periods when it's running quite nicely and you think we can do something with that. It's just these ugly moments that come here and they all back here, and there's too many of them for me at the moment. But yes, at the moment the FTSE is looking quite bright from what it's done. Already broken through its daily pivot R1, back into some resistance potentially around where it is at the moment. Not really my market at the moment. The DAX continues to get very close to making some new all-time highs here, staying pretty strong overall. Lots of consolidation, which you can see on the lower time frames. At some point it might take another break to the upside. I was talking yesterday about the Gartley sort of pattern there. It just sort of started rolling off after that, only to fail in that case, and it's continued to push. Okay, not a great deal there today. Setting up, it's just really a case of continuing to run through these markets first thing this morning. I tend to find something, well, not every morning, but tend to find something better that sort of develops better as the morning goes through on. Anyway, there's nothing at the moment, so I'll leave you there. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll be back on Monday. Bye for now.